Hello, and thank you for clicking on this Fun with Pete and Sherry video. I am your host, Julian. This is your co-host, Tipsy, as always. And today, we will be reviewing Glenfiddich 15-year-old, also called Glenfiddich Solera. Now, this is a really interesting Scotch, and when I reviewed Glenfiddich 12, I mentioned that it was a very good Scotch, but perhaps not extremely complex. Moving up the scale to the 15, this Scotch has picked up a lot of that complexity that the 12 lacked, and is now both a very good and a very complex Scotch. Why is that? Well, to give you the flavor profile of this, again, no smoke, no peat, but instead of using a simple mix of bourbon and sherry casks, this one uses a mix of bourbon casks, sherry casks, and new oak casks. And you know I love new oak. Really makes Scotch sing, I think. In addition to that, as if that weren't interesting enough, they do something with this Scotch that they don't do with, that I don't think any company does with any other Scotch. All of the whiskey, when it's taken out of the barrels, is poured into one giant vat, and then that vat is emptied out to make to fill the bottles. But they never take out more than half of what's in that vat in a single year. That means year after year after year, what's in that vat is a blend more and more of the old and the new, and that in itself should add in a great deal of complexity. Now, obviously, each year, 50% of the stuff that's coming in is coming from what they've just taken out of the barrels, but still, that means that 15, as we know, is the youngest Scotch in the bottle, and the average age is going to be a good bit older than that. So, let's see what's going on here. Ooh, boy. Fruity and cherry flavor, and something very, very smooth rose. Ooh, and caramel. You can tell this is going to be nice. All right, Tipsy, don't interrupt. Okay. So let's see what we get in a glass. Definitely getting some spice notes. Cinnamon. And wood is very unmistakable. More prominent here in the glass than those sweet notes I was mentioning. Okay, final test. Quite a delicate flavor here. And initially that wood that picked up on the nose feels very prominent. Resiny, and that caramel is there. Perhaps a bit of coconut, all things that you would get from the new oak. That's really the first thing that hits you here. But within that taste, sort of encapsulated by it, there is another taste, the sweeter taste. That is very much like orange marmalade and butter. And yeah, this one changes through time. I think it grows sweeter on the finish and more complex, and you can really sort of watch, I guess, the development take place. It's quite interesting Scotch. I mentioned it has a delicate flavor now, and that I'm not usually a huge fan of that. It doesn't have that big chocolatey burst that you would get in a Glenfiddich 12. So this is maybe for people who are a little bit more experienced with Scotch, I would say. But darn fine stuff. And I actually I personally find this superior to the 18, although not necessarily superior to other older stuff I've had from Glenfiddich. So it's a pretty good deal. It's much closer in price to the 12 than it is to the 18. So I think this is a really good one to go to after you've had the basics and want to stretch your legs a little bit. You could do much worse than the Glenfiddich 15 years old. Hey, Moonshine, you gonna join us? Oh well, I'm gonna give this an 8.7. It's a very good rating, 8.7 for Glenfiddich. And before I leave you, I will just say that I was complaining over the summer about my economic condition, and I have received some long anticipated good news, and I will be reviewing some more interesting whiskeys over the course of the next few weeks and months. So thank you for sticking with me, all of you who did, and until next time, Slàinte mhath.